Let's bring in Republican Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs. He sits on the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees. Wow, the mistakes, as outlined in this report that Senator Grassley just released, are astounding. Your reaction?
Yeah, John, I'll tell you that we expected some of these findings. The 10-day window that they knew that there was going to be a threat on President Trump's life, it was in jeopardy, and they didn't bother to communicate that to any of their partners, that's inexcusable. You have somebody who's inexperienced trying to run the scene. That doesn't make sense. The fact that you don't have any kind of, their communications was inadequate between the different agencies. The fact that the co-training was inadequate is amazing. The fact that you don't have a drone. The fact that President Trump's team requested additional security and they didn't get that. All of these things, and not to mention the actual things that were happening that day. This was just a disastrous performance. And I am surprised, quite frankly, that you have 6 people on the ground who become the fall guys for this. I wonder how high up we should have gone and who should be held accountable even above those 6.
Well, and you can understand why Corey Comparator's family is very upset. They haven't gotten any answers. This gunman apparently, should have been stopped even before he climbed out on the roof. And Corey Comparator is dead as a result.
Yeah, Helen Comparator and her family deserve a lot of explanations about what happened. But then so does the whole country. Because if you look back at the videos that were going on at the time, people were pointing out this guy, Crooks, and they were singling him out, just people in the crowd who could see this. But somehow the communication was inadequate between the various agents that were there. This really is something that I'm not sure that we're done with this investigation. I'm not sure that we're satisfied with this. I know Chuck Grassley and his team did a job. I know that Ron Johnson of the Senate did a job. I know that we worked on this in the House. But I'm not sure still that we have all the answers that we need, and nor have we seen the changes that are necessary to improve this agency where it needs to be.
Yeah. Let me turn our attention to the court ruling in California on immigration raids. The judge says you got to have a reasonable suspicion before you arrest somebody, before ICE can take people into custody. Your reaction?
Well, this is another time where the judge has kind of gotten this wrong for political reasons, and this judge is trying to also issue a national injunction again. I mean, that's what you're seeing. That's the intent of this, to try to freeze this. But they don't do anything about the attacks on the ICE and CBP agents trying to do their job. Here's the deal. ICE and CBP, they're going to places where they know and have information. They actually do have a reasonable suspicion that somebody is there who is a criminal, illegal alien. And when they get there, they find additional people that they believe to be illegal aliens as well. And when that happens, it becomes the so-called raid, and then you see the reaction. The judges here in California and the district courts that are stopping these raids, they are not protecting the citizens of this country, nor are they following the law, in my opinion.
Yeah, the administration is supposed to carry out the laws enacted by Congress. The judicial branch is not supposed to be making laws, correct?
That's right. I mean, this is kind of a biased legislation from the bench, which is something you never like to see in a constitutional republic, because it means that you have one branch that's acting outside of its lane. And that's where we've seen not just this judge in Camarillo, but this from the judges around this country who have come out and tried to scuttle President Trump's agenda, whether it's on the birthright citizen issue or, in this instance, arresting people who the ICE and CBP agents believe to be illegally in the country. And by the way, that their statement is the reasonable suspicion. That's the problem with this judge's decision, is that reasonable suspicion is a rather subjective point of view, and that's what they're exhibiting now with CBP and ICE.
Congressman Andy Biggs, Republican of Arizona. Congressman, thank you.
sugar.